Recently, Riverdale Education Foundation gave out money to its recipients in the district and helping with different things, different items, the purchase of some things for classrooms and whatnot. And prior to the program, Riverdale Administrator Jeff Campbell talked about the organization.
Support these fundraisers whether you receive an award or not. Even a donation to this organization, it's all volunteer time that they put in. Without their support for the past 18 years, there would be a significant decline in the learning environment for all of our Riverdale students. Education is definitely the cornerstone of our community, and the awards we recognize this afternoon are a testament to the hard work, perseverance, and passion that define Riverdale. And as we honor these individuals, let us acknowledge the collective effort that makes such success possible.
Jeff Campbell then turned the microphone over to Riverdale Community Education Foundation President Greg Kinney.
On behalf of the Riverdale Community Education Foundation, I'd like to thank you all for coming to our award ceremony today. This is our 16th year of giving out disbursements to the teachers and staff. We've been in an organization for 18, but it took a couple years for us to get going. So this year we'll be giving back $13,784 to 24 different award winners in the regular category. We will be giving out $2,900 to 2 winners in the Standing Havley category. We also have a new category that we added this past year, and that's called the Riverdale Education Enhancement Award. This award is about giving students opportunities that maybe they would never get in life or never get to experience in life. That amount is $2,260. So our total for this year is $18,944. We broke our record from last year. And our new grand total is $150,480 since we've been in existence. Our organization is truly grateful to everyone who has donated to us this past year. We had many donations from individuals and organizations that really do appreciate what we are trying to do for the teachers and students at Riverdale. And without them, this doesn't happen.
Greg Kinney then went on to hand out awards and make announcements of those who would be recipients for the upcoming 2025-26 school year. I had the chance to chat with some of those recipients following the program at Riverdale.
Anya Drone is one of the recipients here today. Tell me about the new 4K classroom that you're very excited about, I know.
I am very excited. For the first time in 25 years, but who's counting, I will have a teammate that we're going to add and have just an extra person to help teach all of the kids, share the load, that kind of thing. But we knew we needed to update the classroom, and so the foundation has gotten us some funds so we can do that before that person is ready to get started. So,
can you give us an example of some of the things that you'll be adding to the classroom?
Anything such as, just equipment around the room or furniture, everything seems to cost so much more these days. And to have the foundation support where, if you looked in a catalog to buy, especially something for kiddos, if it's sturdy enough or durable, it costs just more than you would think. So for them to be able to purchase, a bookcase or a seating arrangement for our reading space, tables, manipulative toys, anything like that just would add up very quickly. So, an $800 stipend will be a lovely little addition for our new room. So,
and you went up there a couple of times. The foundation, comes through quite a bit, and a lot of the applications that go in come back, don't they?
They have. I've felt this love all the way through. I have had the foundation's children and grandchildren, and so they very much support me in my adventures. And so this year I have a few things in the classroom that have stood the test of time but now need to be replaced. And they enjoy, they will stop in from time to time when we invite them, or they love when we will send pictures out to the foundation and just see the kids enjoying the items that they've purchased for us. I am not a golfer or a bowler, but I do participate in the Winter Carnival every year, and it is such a fun adventure where it's all within our beautiful building. The foundation has made up some of the coolest little carnival games, and the kids get to come and for a nominal fee. The food's a small amount, bouncy houses are a small amount, but otherwise they can come and just play these fun free games for a nice, usually cold winter day, and just hang out, and they're nice and tired when they go home and parents have them fed and they can probably take a nap.
Yeah. Well, it's a unique organization because all the money comes right back here to the school. And you, as educators, it's hard to do. You couldn't probably do your job if you didn't have outside help, right?
Absolutely. Especially, I can't imagine for a school as your own personal budget at home. You know how far it just doesn't go at the grocery store anymore. And so for a school to think, okay, we have to buy paper, we have to buy all the basic necessities, there just isn't anything left for anything extra like that. But we don't want our school to be like that. We want it to have, the latest and greatest and all the ways that we can reach all of our students, and the foundation just provides us with that.
Great. Well, congratulations on the awards here today.
Thank you very much.
You bet. That's Anya Drone joining us here from Riverdale Schools. Jesse Kinney next to join us here. Jesse, tell us a little bit about what you were focused on and what the money that you received from the foundation is going to go to.
So it's been a 2-year process. Last year I kind of did something similar, and we've been working on changing the furniture, which is expensive in the classroom. The kids are in desks, they're in chairs, seated at tables all day. We have been able to implement some of like office comfy chairs, a futon, a coffee table, some phone chargers. So it's kind of like a spot where they can just come and they can still get stuff done, but it's almost like modeling after their house. So it's a little bit, we try to dim the lights, have different lighting options and things like that, just to take a little bit of the abrasive day away from them.
Mm-hmm. So a chill spot, I've heard other districts doing this as well. It's a good tool, I think, to have, isn't it?
Yeah, and I only see a certain clientele in my building usually, and this has kind of opened the door for me to build some more relationships with different kids because, when there's passing periods or there's, a homeroom, our times where they can really kind of wander and have some downtime, I now have a few more kids that I wouldn't normally work with that I can build some more relationships with, and it just is a more welcoming and comfortable, safe environment.
I know you were also a part of the Athletes and Phy Ed classes Reach Higher Achieve. What can you tell us about that?
So this is really cool. This is also our second year of this, and we are so lucky, and we are working with Brian Bott from Sports Advantage. He's got a lot of facilities and does a lot of programming, and we are able to offer our students in our little school the same programming they would see if they were at a training facility in Madison or Economawalk or anything like that. So Brian has worked with us to come in and check out our weight room, look at our facilities, see what we would need to be able to implement some vertical training, speed and agility, strength, all of those things, so that these kids that are really wanting to put the time in and take their game, their fitness, and all of these things to the next level, be it in Phy Ed class or through their sports, they have these things available now.
I think about how the weight room has grown and expanded here at Riverdale over the years. You've got some pretty amazing stuff in there now, don't you?
Yeah, we are so lucky, and you don't always realize it till you talk to some other schools and even some bigger schools, and we go over things or show what we're doing, and they're like, how are you doing that? And it's like, we're really lucky. Like we have great staff that are able to implement things. We have great contacts, connections, and then we have all the support from the foundation that has allowed us to really supplement the weight room. We had a great facility back in the day when we had the grants. That was years ago at this point, but now, things get worn, things get tore down, and now we have been able to, thankfully, add in more band training, resistance training, and a lot of just things to make things safer when they're doing things. And our injuries have also gone down with the kids being more active in the weight room because of it.
And the weight room is something you use the whole year, not just during the school year, right?
Absolutely. We have the sports teams are in there. Phy Ed is in there regularly. They have a really great thing set up that they run on a schedule. And then we also have our summer lifting where our kids are in there at 6 a.m. group and 8 a.m. group 4 days a week for the goal is 80% of the summer. And that I think we've seen a lot of really great vertical growth, and then the cutting down of time, speed and agility, and just strength and power. So it takes a little while for it to buy in and for it to roll over, but it's been something that I think is obviously the most visited room daily in our building now.
And the foundation does a lot for the school. I mean, it's amazing the amount of money that goes back.
Oh, absolutely. It is a lot of work. I mean, I've been here, I've seen these guys at carnivals, and they are exhausted. I'm exhausted. I mean, but it's first we're raising money and doing these things with things the kids love at this carnival, and then the golf outing is a great adult event. But the money that comes back, and it truly is, I know Greg mentioned during our awards that see the kids' faces, and they know, and the money would never be there in our budgets. The day and age that we're in right now, we just have to survive to get the things that are daily needs. I would never have the classroom setup I have right now, and our weight room would definitely not have half of the things that we've put in it in the last 2 years, with even multiple clubs and the art club and boosters. We couldn't pay for anything without the foundation.
Jesse Kinney, thanks for talking with us today.
Absolutely, thank you.
Gail Butteris is joining us, and Gail put in for a stipend here from the Riverdale Community Foundation and was a winner of the Stanek Havlik Awards 2025. Gail, tell us a little bit about what you put in, what you were requesting from the foundation.
I'm requesting books that are called high-low books for those students that are a little older that can't read as well, to give them the opportunity to be able to read a book and not be embarrassed at what level they're at.
Okay. So how does it work? Are there books in the library that they can kind of check out themselves?
So these are going to be books that are going to be set aside in a separate library than from the school library, so we can kind of see who's checking out what, and they're going to be open for any grade level for all students.
Reading is so important, isn't it?
It is. I very much agree. It's a foundational skill that everybody needs.
How long have you been a member of the staff here at Riverdale?
This is my 9th year here.
Okay. And through that time, you're seeing a lot of changes in education, aren't you?
Yeah, I was in education before I came here, and it's changing over time, and reading is one thing that hasn't changed that all kids need.
Are they going back to more basics, in terms of less electronics and more books in hands and things like that?
Some kids do really well when they read online. Some kids do really well when they listen to it and follow along. And other kids still do really well with reading an actual book in hand. It's not something that's ever going to go away. Everybody needs to read. But as far as it changing, we try to make a good balance of technology and hands-on.
As far as down the road, are some other things that you're going to put in maybe in the future that you can see, that some other needs that you would have for the classroom?
Well, you never know. There's always different things that come up and that we see that the kids need, and this is a great opportunity to try to get that for them.
More books, so they'll be in place for the next school year then, is that correct?
They will. We will get them ordered right away, and then we'll get a system in place, and the kids can start checking them out in the fall.
Great. Thanks for talking with us. Congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
You bet. Gail Butteris joining us from Riverdale Schools. Sherry Wilkinson joins us. Math enrichment and fun is the subject. Tell us about the award that you got here today.
Yeah, so my job at Riverdale, I'm the math specialist, and I get to work in small groups with kids on math skills, but one of my big goals for the district is to find a way to make math fun for kids. A lot of kids will develop, for whatever reason, some anxiety about math or lack of confidence. And so one thing I try to do is have like a special I guess you could say, with each grade level starting in 4K all the way up through grade 6. Something special that I do on a regular basis with each grade level to try and get them excited about math and give them opportunities to work with math in a fun setting.
I think that we all have anxiety. I do about math. Maybe you don't, but I always did. I remember that growing up. When you look at it, it comes easy for some students, and it comes hard for other students.
Yeah, I think one of the quotes that I've heard since taking on this new position here that I really love and I try to fall back on is math is figure-outable. Okay, so like we talk about the skills that we want to teach our kids for lifelong. One of the things is just like problem solving in general, and like even with something as hard or challenging, what skills do you have to figure things out? And what we know about math is all math is figure outable. So whether you think you're good at numbers or think you're good at math, we can work together and use skills that we have in our toolbox to figure it out.
I'm sure like reading, we talked about reading a little bit, but they're all levels of students in the same grade sometimes in their abilities, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about math is that you have kids who, maybe they viewed themselves as not very strong at math, or, however they've come to identify that way. They might bring a different skill set to like a group task, or, a lot of teachers try to get kids in groups working on problem solving, and the skills that maybe someone who isn't the top math student in the class, they might bring something different, so it takes all levels of math skills to get the job done.
What kind of math do they teach in 4K?
So this has been really fun for me this year. This is kind of the first year that I've branched down into the 4K level, and like kids come with such a love for learning, and what we've been working with them this year on a special like program, I guess you'd call it. It's called Number Blocks, and it's these actual characters. Each number is its own character with that amount of blocks, and there's tons of resources out there, but it's something really concrete that kids can relate to, and there's shows that go along with it. So after we do an activity and learn about the next number, they get to kind of watch a fun show and play a game with those characters.
Yeah, it's fun, and I mean, I think that's the way it should be for all levels, because you have fun, and then all of a sudden, by accident, you learn something, right?
Yeah, and they might not know it yet, but they are learning and they're having fun, and they'll see me in the hallway. That's been the other great thing about this position is I don't work with 4K students. I don't, work with them in a math group, but by the time a couple months into the school year, they see me in the hallway and they're like, there's Mrs. Wilkinson, the number block lady. And then, all of a sudden with 4-year-olds, I'm having conversations in the hallway. When are you going to come in and do number 6? And it just creates like an opportunity to have math conversations even outside of the classroom, in the hallway or recess or wherever that is.
It seems like maybe Sesame Street had it right all those years ago. Today, where today's number is number 5, number 6.
Yeah, and I think it's always just the next thing, right? And if we can stay on top of it and try to meet kids in their world and bring, we know the best things about math and numbers to teach them, but they know the best things about like characters on the TV shows and whoever it may be. So if we can find a way to connect with them on that level, it makes it more meaningful.
Anything else you'd like to add about the foundation here at Riverdale?
No, I think people have said it over and over, but we're so fortunate to have this group of people, and especially in today's world when districts are, having to get more creative with their financing, and we want to be able to provide kids with all the same opportunities that they've had, and sometimes that comes down to money. And so we're really thankful and appreciative that we have a group of retired teachers, community members, people that really invest in our school and believe that we're doing good things and trust us with that little extra money to make learning fun for the kids.
Great. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Sherry Wilkinson joining us on this report. Callie Coe is here, and her ag classroom will be benefiting from the Riverdale Foundation and their recent grant. Callie, tell us about what you're going to use the money for.
We got a grant to get some stainless steel tables and some high stools for the classroom. I already have about half my classroom in stainless steel tables, and I kind of just experimented with the idea. It turns out I really like it for food science, dissections, you name it. They're easy to clean, they're easy to maintain, and they work really well for what we're doing in my room. So I kind of decided I think I want more, and I was fortunate enough to receive a grant today to make that happen.
That's awesome. So they're tables that can be used for everything, right?
Right. Yep. Exactly. Every day, every kid's going to sit there or stand there, whatever. That's the other nice thing I kind of like about the stools and the higher top table option is that, for labs and stuff, we can be standing, we can be moving, planting plants even on them and stuff like that. It's something different all the time, and it's going to be an everyday use for us.
You've utilized monies from the foundation over the years quite well, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been really fortunate to receive some awesome grants for things. A paint booth being one of them last year to paint our restoration tractors, which we're set to use here in probably the next week. Actually, for the first time, we were just talking about it. Really looking forward to using that. I've received grants for other various things in the past as well, and we're always so fortunate to benefit from this group. This year, we're restoring a tractor for a student's family, and we did that last year actually too. I usually ask the kids in the class if they're interested in bringing anything in for us to use, and then instead of the FFA or whatever paying for the bill, it's that family's responsibility to pay for the paint and stuff like that. But then they get a nice project out of it they get to take home and enjoy for hopefully the rest of their lives. And I think that's what this tractor will also be. But there's two ways to do it. The first year we bought a tractor and did it that way. But I also I really enjoy the pride they take in doing something for themselves versus something we're going to raffle off. Do you know what I'm saying? They work so hard on something that was their grandpa's or their dad's. And it's just amazing the kind of time and energy they'll take to make it look good so that they can, take it home to their family.
Do you have some FFA students headed toward more competition or the nationals or anything going on this year?
Yep. So I had a group just compete at State Wildlife last Friday. They were 7th overall, which is really respectable finish, with Henry Drone, Anya's son, being 6th overall individually. So they did really well. We have state convention coming up, and we'll have 5 state degrees there. We also will have, we had 5 gold proficiency winners, but one of them will walk across the stage as a top 5 state finalist, and that's Jordan Baumkamp. We don't know how he placed in the top 5 yet, but we know he will be representing us there. And then also I hope to have an announcement that we'll have some American degrees coming, and that'll be the first since 1999.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
Congratulations. And your program received some recognition this year too, didn't it?
Yep. We won the section for outstanding middle school and high school, or middle school and secondary programs is what it's worded. And right now we are in the running for, so we'd be, there's 10 sections, and if we won our section, we're one of the top 10 programs in the state of Wisconsin this year, which is pretty cool. And then we'll find out in June if we win that and, potentially move on to nationals.
Awesome. So do you have to have people watching your farm and your crops over the summertime, or how does that work?
For the school farm, yeah. So I actually have some managers, 2 of them which are graduating, and we are electing new ones where we're going to recognize them at banquet here coming up Wednesday. Yes, we have 2 school farm managers and a forest manager that handle things out there in terms of like mowing, helping put in posts for recognition for like our hybrids that are out there for our test plot. They also just do all kinds of other maintenance that needs to get done during the year, including like, potentially fence off our sweet corn patch and stuff like that. We also have some chickens out there, so we have a coop manager. They handle a lot for us. During the summer we get plenty of eggs on hand now, which was another donation I got from this group. We got money toward the chicken coop 2 years ago, and that is paying off like by the dozens right now. Yeah. And also, at $6 a dozen or whatever, we're saving money left and right. So
I'm guessing you are. So you've really benefited over the years from the foundation. I mean, groups like yours in classrooms, and you really couldn't do it if you didn't have a group like this, could you?
No, and they're so amazing. Like I kind of mentioned to these guys, like there's probably, I'm guessing 50% of the staff got something today, and that's impressive that they're able to support us in that way. They've been awesome to work with. Not only do they support us monetarily, but they're there for us throughout the year as well. We see them at events. They're supporting our kids. We try to in turn support them at their events and make sure that we show up to foundation fundraisers and encourage others to do so as well.
Congratulations on the award and a very successful school year, Callie.
Thank you.
You bet. That's Callie Coe here on WRCO. President of the Riverdale Community Foundation, Greg Kinney, joins us. Greg, after the program today, any thoughts on today's award winners?
Just a wide variety again. We're lucky that so many different teachers will take the time and effort to give us applications, and so we, it's interesting to see where they're coming from. Sometimes we have to ask the teachers on our board, okay, I'm a farmer, explain this to me, how this is working or what the benefits are. And so we're very lucky that we have those kind of people on our board, and they will explain it in teachers' terms, and so it makes the rest of us on the board understand then. But there is such a wide variety, and we're very happy to be able to do that, because when we started out, we weren't really sure where this would build to, and now we're at a point where we're all pretty comfortable. There are a lot of different ways to teach nowadays compared to what even 10, 15 years ago, and so these teachers seem to grasp that, and they're looking for new ways, whether some of it is wobble chairs or stuff like that, that nobody would have ever heard of, 15 years ago. And so we're lucky that we're able to do that. And at the end of the day today, we're always very happy because we see the gratitude that the teachers have, and they very much appreciate, and it's a pretty nice sum of money that we're giving away every year. So.
Some unique things, but I think this year maybe more practical. I mean, this day and age, tables and chairs and things like that, just things that you just can't snap your fingers and create in the classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Callie Cole in the Ag Room got one of the bigger awards, but, her dissection classes, and she has such a large volume of students going through those classrooms, and they got new ones when they expanded the Ag Room, and yet now she's needed more. And so, Yeah, it's not flashy, but very practical for her and everything that she does. I mean, the ag program here at Riverdale is amazing. They do so many things and include so many of the elementary students. They bring in animals, all different kinds of species, and they get to go to the ag room and take trips over there. And she just does a wonderful job, and I hope that they get voted the #1 ag program in the state because she definitely deserves it. But they have so much stuff going on with the greenhouse and the school farm, but they really enjoy complimenting and encouraging the young students that go to school in Riverdale to come to the ag room and get to see all the different stuff, and so that's awesome.
Also outfitting the 4K classroom, new room there. You got to feel good about that.
Yeah, they sent the application in. Actually, the principal did from this building, and they already know what Anya has, had in her 4K classroom for years to go, and so they the new teacher, when that person is hired, will get to have some say in it as well, and Anya will help her, and I'm sure the administration staff will help, and so they'll get to pick out some things that will make the two classrooms correlate back and forth, and so, yeah, we're happy to be able to help with some of that kind of stuff because when they get there, they're going to hit the ground running and be ready to go for the school year. So.
Next up for your fundraisers will be the big golf outing, and time goes by pretty fast, so people start to need to be looking at that date too, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I've already had several people, they start telling me back in March, like, okay, don't forget us, and get us down. So I have a list going already at home, and we're able to take like 22 teams, and we never have a problem filling up lately here, and we actually had to turn away a couple teams because we had card issues, and but last year we were able to fill all the teams that wanted to play. There's always a wedding or somebody has an anniversary party or something, and so once in a while a team will have to drop out for a year, but then they always say, well, make sure you put us back in next year, and so you really do try and hope you can accommodate everybody. It's not fun to call them and say, I'm sorry, we don't have room. But yeah, it's a big event for us. Hickory Grove Golf Course does an amazing job of helping us work through it all, and people do have a good time. It's not about being a professional golfer. We don't give out any awards. There's no first place trophy or anything. It's just about coming, having fun. If you got one person that can drive the ball, everybody can putt. So, you just got to get to the green. And it's a really fun event. It's a long day, but it's an awesome day when we're all done, that's for sure.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into raising the money. I know. I feel really fortunate that I think I was at like 3 or 4 of your concession stands this year.
Yeah.
So I hit it right when I was here at Riverdale.
Yeah, we do. We always have the homemade baked goods at our concession stands. And so people, they kind of look at the calendar. They know when the foundation is up to run a food stand. And so we'll have people come up right away. It's like, oh, we looked at the calendar. We know. So there might not be any of this stuff left. So they'll take it with them before the event ever starts. And so our people are really good about making a wide variety of stuff, and we're happy to be able to do that, and we make a fair good amount of money at it. So
you mentioned that board members are also alumni here too, so it's not hard to get them fired up to try and work for the school, I'm sure.
No, they've all had kids. Their kids have gone through, and now their grandkids are going through, and so almost all of us are from here, and so it really does do us. Our hearts get warmed up when we start to see the good things that are happening, and you whether you see it on their Facebook page, accolades for the forensics team or the one-act plays. I mean, it's all Riverdale, so everybody is happy when people have success, and I think that's a big part of why it makes Riverdale so good.
Well, this is kind of the day to celebrate, right? I mean, you work hard all year, but this is kind of the day where it all kind of comes to fruition, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we gave $18,944 this year, today, for the awards that we gave out. And really, when I look at the number of 150,480, that even boggles my mind a little bit that we've actually gave that amount of money in the 15 plus years we've been in existence. So it's pretty amazing. But the last few years, we've kind of been on a roll. We've been in that 16 to 18, 19,000, and but we work really hard to raise the money, and we have generous donations throughout the year, and people, days like today, people will hear about it. It'll be in the paper and obviously on WRCO. You guys are tremendous supporting us, and so we're really happy. This is kind of the culmination for our year, and we'll take a little bit of a break here and then fire up for the golf in the fall, and then we roll right into the school year next fall. So
These school years go by pretty quickly, don't they?
they sure do, yeah. Some of the teachers say, you know, I intended to use this award at the beginning of the year, and then things started to slip by, and so they'll call us, and it's like, nope, the money is still there. So you just use it before the end of the school year if you somehow make it happen, and they usually do, and so it works out well. So,
Well, thanks for all you do, Greg, and congratulations on another good year.
yeah, thank you, Chris, Phil, for everything WRCO does. I said you guys support us terrifically, and I said we couldn't do it without you guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Greg Kinney joining us here at Riverdale Schools on WRCO.